How does Supreme makes hundreds of millions every year without traditional advertising? They rely on hype, exclusivity, and a loyal community that does the talking for them. Supreme refuses to do wholesale or re-release products, making each drop a rare event. Fans queue for hours, post about their wins and losses online, and drive resale prices sky high. This approach has helped Supreme become a billion-dollar brand with a devoted following. So, what's the secret behind turning ordinary clothing into a status symbol? Let's look at how Supreme built a culture where anticipation is everything. Drop culture sits at the heart of Supreme's marketing machine. By pioneering the weekly Thursday drop, Supreme turned what began as an inventory management tactic into a ritual that their audience anticipates. Twice a year, they reveal their online lookbook for the season. Instead of making the entire collection available at once, Supreme releases its products every week in small batches, never restocking. This forces fans to follow the drops constantly and gives the impression that each item is a rare find. This approach has turned the act of buying from a routine to a weekly event, and fans have quickly learned that if you hesitate, you risk missing out. Supreme also maintains mystery and attention, since the biggest collaborations are not part of the initial lookbook. This strategy thrives on unpredictability and scarcity. Either way, the result is the same: lines around the block and frenzied online traffic. The company's website has seen spikes of up to 17,000% during drop days, all because customers want to be the first to snag something exclusive. The 2017 collaboration with Louis Vuitton didn't follow a typical luxury launch. Instead, it appeared suddenly, and everyone was looking for the list of items with their prices, anticipating the hottest products. The box logo drop before Christmas sparks more than hype. It triggers a hunt for colors, design changes, and resale predictions. These calculated moves reinforce Supreme's message: hesitation means missing out. The drop model has since spread across streetwear and luxury brands, but Supreme's consistency and authenticity set them apart. Their audience trusts that each release is genuinely limited, and that missing a drop means there won't be another chance. This trust is what keeps people lining up, sharing rumors, and spreading hype. But the story doesn't end when the last item sells out. What happens after a drop is just as important to Supreme's brand and marketing strategy. Supreme's influence doesn't stop at the initial sale. The resale market is a crucial part of their strategy. When Supreme releases a new product, many buyers are already planning to resell. These items quickly appear on platforms like StockX and eBay, often at prices far above retail. The market for secondhand apparel grew from $28 billion in 2019 to an estimated $64 billion in 2024, and Supreme's approach has thrived alongside this expansion. Each marked up resale not only signals demand, but also reinforces Supreme's reputation for exclusivity, fueling anticipation for future drops. The numbers tell the story. Take the Supreme Box logo hoodie. It retails for around $168, but at its peak, resold for over $800. This price gap doesn't deter customers, it motivates them. Supreme's retail pricing stays accessible, while the resale market turns their products into coveted investments. In 2022, Supreme apparel and accessories sold on StockX at an average price premium of 57%, down from 67% in 2020. Even with this slight dip, the resale premium remains substantial, consistently boosting the brand's desirability and perceived value. Supreme's system is built for this cycle. Short production runs and a refusal to restock ensure that supply stays tight. Supreme's careful management of supply and their willingness to let the market set prices have turned their customers into active participants. Many buyers see each drop as an opportunity not just to own a piece of the brand, but to profit from its cultural momentum. This dynamic benefits Supreme in multiple ways. The brand maintains credibility by keeping retail prices reasonable, while the secondary market amplifies hype and cements their status as a cult favorite. The ongoing demand in the resale market validates the brand's long-term value, turning each past release into a form of living advertisement for the next one. Supreme's approach shows that when you create real scarcity and let your audience drive demand, you don't need to shout to be heard. The lesson here isn't just about products, it's about how every interaction with your brand can build anticipation. Supreme's next move is a masterclass in how to keep customers waiting for what's coming rather than chasing after them with constant noise. Supreme doesn't use email to sell, they use it to trigger. Supreme's emails are stripped down to the essentials. Unlike most brands that fill inboxes with daily promotions, Supreme uses email with remarkable restraint. Most of the year, their newsletters are silent. No promos, no product previews. But when something big is coming, like a major collaboration, they break the silence. A clean image, a logo, maybe 1 or 2 lines of text and a link to the website. That's it. This scarcity-driven approach means each email stands out, reinforcing the sense that every message contains something valuable and exclusive. And on drop day, usually at 5 p.m. in Europe, you get one simple message. Online shop updated, no list of items, no call to action, just a teaser image and a link landing exactly when the drop hits. And that's the genius. Supreme doesn't try to convince you, they use anticipation as a tool. Their email is more like a signal, a final push for people who've been following leaks, rumors, and early photos all week. It doesn't explain, it confirms. By keeping it cold, minimal, and perfectly timed, Supreme turns even their email into a ritual. It's not a reminder, it's a green light. And when fans see it, they know it's time to hunt. While most retailers optimize emails for opens and clicks, Supreme relies on the rarity of their messages to drive engagement. The result is a customer base that pays close attention to every communication. Supreme's emails aren't just notifications, they're invitations to participate in something exclusive. This approach creates a sense of privilege and urgency that routine marketing can't match. Customers don't tune out, instead, they look forward to what might come next. Supreme's minimalist, anticipation-driven email strategy is a natural extension of their overall philosophy. Supreme knows how to turn the most random things into powerful marketing tools without ever calling it marketing. Let's start with the famous sticker. Every time you buy something from Supreme, whether online or in store, you get a free sticker. Most of the time, it's the classic red box logo, and people love it. They put it on laptops, skateboards, phone cases. Some even collect them or resell them. They are not even on sale at Supreme, so the only way to get them is to place an order, especially if it's a special collection that comes with its own edition. That small sticker becomes a walking ad. It spreads the brand without Supreme having to pay for anything. No billboards, no influencers, just a simple label, and it's everywhere. But Supreme doesn't stop there. They've printed their logo on absurd objects like bricks, boxing bag, money gun, even Ziploc bags. Sounds crazy, right? But those drops always sell out. Why? Because Supreme understands this. When you put a powerful logo on something unexpected, it gets people's attention. It turns a boring object into a statement. It's bold, it's weird, and it makes the brand unforgettable. Whether it's a sticker or a brick, Supreme uses everyday objects as silent messengers. No slogans, no promotions, just a logo, and that's enough. And while Supreme turns physical objects into branding tools, their digital presence is just as powerful and just as unconventional. Social media is a crowded space, and most brands find themselves paying for visibility just to reach their own followers. Supreme, however, has built a massive audience of over 12 million followers on Instagram alone, without relying on sponsored posts or traditional ads. Supreme focuses on authentic engagement, letting their products and collaborations speak for themselves. Their Instagram feed is a masterclass in restraint and consistency. Supreme shares images from their lookbooks and highlights collaborations, keeping captions brief and avoiding overt calls to action. By concentrating efforts on IG, Supreme creates a central hub for their community and amplifies the brand's minimalist aesthetic. The Louis Vuitton partnership, for example, remains Supreme's top hashtag years after its release, showing just how long a single moment can drive conversation and attention. Weekly drops are also a crucial element of this strategy, and it's not even Supreme who announces them. Leaked just a few days before a drop by unofficial specialized accounts, the preview spread across social platforms, generating a sense of urgency and exclusivity. This approach creates anticipation and keeps followers actively engaged, rather than fatigued by constant updates. Same thing on Reddit, they don't post directly. Instead, they partner with moderators of the Supreme clothing subreddit to share lookbooks and drop information. This taps into an audience that's already highly invested in the brand, driving significant organic traffic without the need for paid promotion. The real strength of Supreme's social media presence lies in the content's shareability and the status it confers. Fans repost Supreme's collaborations and drops, not because they're incentivized, but because association with the brand carries its own social capital. This organic sharing, fueled by exclusivity and anticipation, is something that paid ads simply can't replicate. For smaller businesses, Supreme's example offers a clear lesson. Focus on a single platform where your audience is most active, create content that feels worth sharing, and seek out collaborations or community partnerships that add credibility. The goal isn't to flood feeds, but to create moments people care about and want to discuss. Supreme's ability to generate hype and loyalty without heavy ad spend shows that the strongest marketing strategies are rooted in understanding what truly motivates people. Supreme plays it quiet, but Nike? They use the same principles with volume, precision, and global impact. Watch our deep dive next to see how.